and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
I don't know about you, but Netta Barzilai's Eurovision winning song Toy is still stuck in my head. Netta's insane win at the International Song Competition in May means that next year's Eurovision is headed for Israel. But it looks like the Israeli government has finally relented on its demand to hold the show in Jerusalem, fearing that the public backlash might nix the event altogether. This decision, of course, comes on the heels of a similarly realized fear. Last week, Argentina announced that its national soccer team was canceling a friendly match with Israel's team after the government moved the game from Haifa to Jerusalem. Many slammed the move, accusing the government of politicizing the sporting event. While Israel sees Jerusalem as its eternal capital, most of the world's nations see it as a divided city and the unresolved center of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Palestinians revolted against Argentina's soccer team, threatening to burn jerseys of superstar Lionel Messi if the match proceeded in Jerusalem. Culture and Sports Minister Miri Regev was a central figure in moving the match as well. Her ministry came under fire when it came out that only a third of the 30,000 tickets were actually sold to the public. The rest were reserved for ministry officials, NGOs, and other special interest groups. After the match was cancelled, Regev doubled down on her demand for Eurovision 2019, saying it would either be in Jerusalem or not at all. But clearly the rest of the government is backing away from that hard line. Regev was reportedly not even involved in these latest conversations regarding Eurovision. Israel's Kan broadcaster will now oversee the selection of the venue with Eurovision organizers alone. Israeli officials may have sat for 3 hours yesterday to discuss the deteriorating humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip, but it looks like no conclusions have been made. As of now, the Israeli Security Cabinet has failed to agree on whether or not Israel should move forward with programs to bring electricity, clean water, and other humanitarian needs to the coastal enclave. Earlier this year, Israel approved a series of infrastructure programs to develop and provide such aid to the Strip, but both the Israeli Defense and Education Minister are expressing reservations about helping out Gaza when it continues to be ruled by the Hamas terror group. Today, both Israel and Egypt maintain a blockade on the Gaza Strip that they claim is designed to stop Hamas from getting its hands on weapons and other goods that could be used to attack the Jewish state. This blockade has largely contributed to the dire lack of electricity, drinkable water, and food in the Strip, and intelligence officials believe worsening conditions could further exacerbate tensions on the border. The details of last week's massive overseas Air Force drill in Greece are finally coming into focus. The multi-day simulation brought together 40 Israeli fighters along with hundreds of choppers, planes, and cargo craft to test the IAF's ability to conduct a war on multiple fronts. We also know now that part of this drill included a simulation of bombing runs in the Gaza Strip. Tensions with Gaza have lately erupted into weekly rocket fire and bloody protests. But what makes this drill especially unique is that it was held in foreign airspace over Greece, and that it required exactly 0 landings from beginning to end. That means the Army's top military minds had to organize mid-air refueling amidst the war games. Israel's Air Force is considered among the best, if not the best, in the world. Reinforcing that claim, weapons developers have just handed the Air Force a new cutting-edge weapon, the new air-to-surface missile that is totally undetectable to enemy radar. The Rampage missile has an impressive range of 150 kilometers, and like other missiles, the Rampage has a customized shrapnel control system, which means that when it explodes, the Army can actually control the radius of shrapnel, ideally minimizing collateral damage. With field tests nearly complete, you can probably expect to see Israeli jets suiting up with the Rampage missiles by the end of the year. A bomb has just been detonated near the Tomb of the Patriarchs in Hebron. Border police guarding the holy site came across a suspicious device yesterday and immediately cleared the area to summon sappers. Turns out their suspicions were right because sappers have just destroyed the improvised explosive device, which contained 2 small gas canisters. It's been blown up in a controlled explosion by an Israeli police bomb squad. Police have now launched an investigation into the incident, and in this case, the device was found near one of the entrances used only by Muslims, but police still closed off entrances to the site from all angles. The Tomb of the Holy Patriarchs is holy to both Jews and Muslims, which is perhaps why it remains a flashpoint of violence in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's official, guys. The hit Broadway musical The Band's Visit, based on the award-winning Israeli film, has just swept the 2018 Tony Awards, including the big win for Best Musical. The musical tells the story of an Egyptian police orchestral band that travels over the border and ends up in a lonely Israeli town in the Negev. But far more importantly, the show's themes teach about the importance of communication and the possibility of coexistence. The show was a critical hit and a shoo-in for Tony glory from the moment it premiered on Broadway. Golden Glove winner Tony Shalhoub, who has been consistently snubbed by the Tony Awards, finally took home his much-deserved Best Actor prize for his lead role in The Band's Visit. The show also snagged a slew of technical awards including Best Sound Design and Lighting, as well as top honors for Lead Actress, Director, Featured Actor, Score, Orchestration, and Best Book of a Musical. Israeli-American actor Ariel Strachel, who won the Tony for Best Featured Actor, even gave a stirring acceptance speech about his own heritage. The original film was written and directed by Eran Kolirin back in 2007, and is arguably one of the most successful Israeli films of all time. Now that The Band's Visit is bathing in Tony glory, you'll probably be waiting longer than ever to buy a ticket. But in the meantime, we definitely recommend checking out the film while you can.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.